So today we're going to be doing some technical organizing, some itty bitty organizing, along with a few other larger projects. So I wanted to organize the things I use for my coffee bar over here, and I found these droppers on Amazon. They're kind of a, I don't know, matte kind of finish, very sheer and really pretty. We're going to make some labels for those here in a minute. Then I also found these little bottles with corks in them. So I use a lot of liquid stevia in my coffees, and so I wanted something that would hold those. They already come in a dropper bottle, but obviously it's not very decorative and whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and put that into these, and then these bottles are going to hold some of my toppings I like to use. I make a chai spice, a pumpkin spice, and a few other little things that I like to sprinkle on top of my coffee sometimes. So I thought these would do perfectly. And then we are going to be tackling this cabinet here. It is in major need of being cleaned up and organized, as well as this one here. And then we're going to move to some other places in my home. I want to say a huge thank you to Costway for sponsoring this week's video. I have their 3-in-1 portable evaporative air cooler with filter knob for indoor use. This thing is really awesome because it can cool the air without needing a major exhaust system or needing a window to sit in. So it works perfect for small spaces, and since it is also a humidifier, it adds moisture to the air. The setup was very easy. You just put the casters on the bottom and you pop the cooling packs in place. The cooling packs contain ice crystals that help to keep the water in the tray cold, and it blows nice cool air throughout your room. It has a low speed, a medium speed, and a high speed. It also has a swing mode where the wind can be swung automatically on the left and the right, and you can choose to wind up and wind down by hand. The swing feature can distribute the air around the room and make the whole room cool. So check out the link in the description box if you are looking for a unit to cool a space for you. I know that you will be very happy with this. I have really enjoyed how it does not have a lot of extra pieces and parts, but it does its job effectively. Okay, I'm still playing around with placement here. I'm not sure how it's going to lay out with some of the other things in the other bottles once I have those put together. One thing I love, and I did not realize, is that these actually have some different colors, and they're so pretty. I feel like now the true colors of the flavored stevia can be seen and appreciated, but it just really, really looks nice. A quick little side note, the main reason I use these is because a lot of the sugar-free syrups kind of tend to give me a stomach ache, but these do not. So if you're somebody that wants to cut a little bit of sugar in your coffee but still have a flavored coffee, these are a perfect option. for the moment, I have everything laying over here. I don't really know how I'm going to organize this. If I'm just gonna leave it all stashed kind of like this, or if I'm gonna put some of it down here, I'm not sure. But for now, we're going to focus on this cabinet up here. And this is where I keep all of my coffee cups and glasses I use for coffee and travel mugs and things like that. So I snagged these on Amazon. They are 15 inches and that is the biggest turntable I can fit in this cabinet. I measured from this point to the back, and 15 inches is about as big as we're gonna get in here. And I'm extremely impressed by these. I've actually used this brand before, but these are a little different. I don't know exactly how or why, but they are considered a pro version. And I would agree that they're very, very hefty. So first of all, they're really thick on the sides, and underneath they've got this huge rubber grip, and it really works well. Even with heavy stuff on it, it turns extremely well. So just thought I would give you guys that little overview of those things. So I've thought this out, and I don't have a huge amount of rhyme or reason of how I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the most used coffee cups and mugs, I think, here. But other than that, I don't really know how I'm going to organize this. I was thinking maybe travel mugs in here, odds and ends on the third shelf. We will see. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the wrapping off of these and stick them up there and start putting my mugs in the cabinet. All right, so like I said, the rhyme and reason of how I put everything in here is probably only going to make sense to me because I have certain cups I like to use more than others. So this down here, I'm going to be putting basically cups that I reach for the most, whether we're making iced coffee or if I'm making a hot coffee. This cup right here is from Target, and it is a part of the giveaway that I'm going to be having going on when this video goes live. So you guys can go to my Instagram and check that out. So there's 3 winners, and they're getting different things that are my favorites, and one of the things they're getting is this cup. So I use that pretty often. I actually had to wash it up. I wanted to have pretty much everything clean so I could see how everything would fit in here if everything was clean, if that makes sense. So I have about like 1 mug that I'm currently drinking coffee out of that I don't have in here. So instead of standing here and telling you all about my favorite mugs, which I really would love to do, I'm just going to kind of tell you how I did things. So again, a lot of the things I reach for a lot here. That little mug back there is Kylia's, so I had to hang on to that. This is some really cute fall mugs that I've been using and I thrifted. Just some other odds and ends on either side. This is the lowest shelf, so it's easiest for me to reach. The next shelf up has a lot of our travel mugs and just things that I use for the girls. These are their special little like breakfast cups that we use on certain days. Whenever I'm gonna do orange juice or something that's fun to look at in there. And if they have water, they have other cups that they use. These are their little water bottles. And then on this side, I've got some extra glass water bottles. On this side, we have our Stanleys and Corey's Stanley back there with Yeti stickers all over it. I don't know if you guys saw me putting that in, but it's kind of a funny joke in our house is that that's his Yeti, and we have actual Yetis, but he just stuck the Yeti stickers all over the Stanley cup. I did climb all the way up there and do that. However, I am standing on the ground right now, so there's no way for me to reach that without getting like an actual stool. So that's just some things that we don't use very often, just my grandmother's teacups and some other odds and ends. So I'm really happy with how this is. I feel like these two shelves are so much more accessible because I can stand here and turn that to get to what I need. And otherwise I would have to get a stool to reach out behind there. So I'm happy with this. And now we're going to transition away from this corner and do a little different organizing. Then we'll come back and tackle this bottom cabinet. All right, so this section of countertop right here is between my stove and the microwave. And I wanted to get something that was a little bit unique and different to put salt and pepper in. So this little organizer is from Amazon, and it does have these little glass pieces that come off, and the tray has spots for each of them. And the other thing I thought was really unique about this is it does have little pieces on the ends to where if you want to pick up the tray, you can slip your fingers underneath of here and pick it up as well. So I'm going to put salt and pepper in these, and they have these fun little spoons that fit in the notch on the lid just like that. And then the third one I'm going to use for brown sugar because my daughters are really into eating oatmeal for breakfast, especially with the colder months coming on. Just having a nice bowl of something warm in the morning is one of their favorite things. And this is an area where they can reach and pull this out if they want to and just scoop a little brown sugar into their oatmeal. They are learning how to make the oatmeal by themselves. So that's another aspect of this. And then going from the brown sugar to this, I'm so excited about this. This is an Amazon find and it is really genius. I'm extremely impressed at the quality. As you can see, it is an under cabinet or under shelf mounted organizer. And right above this area is kind of my baking section. I have a lot of things in here like my measuring pitchers and things like that, my bread pans. But this section right here is kind of dead space. And it is an area where they can reach. They use little stools a lot in the house so they can reach it. So this can be kind of their spot next to the stove, the microwave, however they cook their oatmeal up, where they can kind of put their oatmeal together. So in here, I'm going to show you what it looks like. It is so nifty. This is the piece that you put underneath of the cabinet, and you don't have to drill any holes actually. There is a place to put screws if you want to, but this slides right on your cabinet or your shelf, and then this piece right here is sticky, so you just stick it right up underneath of there. Then it has these three little containers, and what I love about them is they are sealed completely. So it's going to keep our oatmeal toppings fresh and great in here. I'm debating on putting labels on these. I'm not going to put labels on these. It's pretty obvious what's in there, and I think I just like the clean look of them. I asked the girls what they would like in these for on top of their oatmeal, and they decided on raisins, dried apples, and freeze-dried strawberries. So I'm gonna pull all of that out to load these up, and I'm hoping that the lids, since they do seal, aren't too difficult for the girls. I think that they'll be okay. So we're going to assemble all of this, and then I might have the girls come and test it out for me. We're back in this corner and I'm gonna do my best to film this and show you all what I'm doing, even though it's kind of a tight, dark space. So I have organized this before. However, what was going on in here was a disaster. It wasn't even usable because I was shoving things in there. Half the stuff in there we weren't using. So I needed to eliminate some of the way I was organizing it and then bring in some things for what we actually need. So one thing I need was some containers, and these two containers are going to hold my collagen, which I mix in my coffee and other drinks, and then also the magnesium powder we use at night. It's just a magnesium drink to help your body relax and for you to sleep well. So I'm going to dump that powder in there. I get it in big containers from Costco, so I don't know if it will fill a whole one of these or not. And then of course these bright room baskets, which you all have seen me use before. I'm going to store extra coffee pods in one and then extra coffee grounds in the other one, and kind of have them towards the back. This thing here, I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for, but I needed a spot for my little to-go cups, and this works perfectly. You'll see here in a second. And for also things like straws and stir sticks. I do have a lot of reusable straws, which I'll show you a little bit later in something else I'm organizing, but for to-go things and whatever, just to have something for that. And then this honestly might be the thing I'm most excited about. So we have needed a place for our lids for tumblers and water bottles and things like that. And I found these. They're from iDesign, and I think they're actually supposed to be a bathroom organization piece, but they are going to work perfect for our lids. So I have two of those for the one shelf. I have a turntable here, and then I also have another turntable here just to hold some like smaller appliances that go in here. I'll show you once I put them in. This turntable is going to go towards the back on the bottom, just kind of for some odds and ends. They're just excellent for corner spaces where you can't reach very well, but you could maybe get in there and kind of turn something. So these work great. And then these here I'm going to use to hold some different drink things that we use in smoothies, backups of some shelf stable creamers that I used when I forget to get the refrigerated kind that I usually get. And then one of these is also going to hold my tea bags, so like all of the hot tea. So I'm going to get some of the packaging off of this, tags cut off, and we're going to get things put together. I apologize if this looks a little bit dark, but I'm just getting down in here to kind of show you how the layout is. And I did put that second turntable back here just for some little odds and ends, an extra picture and some things like that. But I'm so happy with how this all turned out, because this is going to be so much more practical than what I did have in here, and everything in here we do use. So I'm excited about that. These are like little mix-in powders that I use in smoothies for the girls. And I have my extra creamers back here. I've got like a chocolate milk mix there, tea, lids up here. This is not something I use very regularly. However, sometimes if Corey is taking a coffee to work with him, it's a little more convenient to send something like this instead of having a cup that might get lost. And if I have a mom friend over and I want to make her a coffee before she leaves, I can send it with her. So those things are nice to have on hand. And of course, this is all of my other little odds and ends, my French press, my stovetop espresso maker, and I love my Maestri House frother for cold foam and hot foam, a coffee grinder for whole beans, and a tea kettle for tea, or if I'm using my French press. Okay, so like I said, I was going to show you all where our straws are, our reusable straws. So I had a total different system in here before, and if you all have watched my videos for a while, you probably remember it. It was a gray organizer designed for narrow drawers. This drawer is extremely narrow, and it's really the only place that works well for our silverware. So I found this system, and it's a nice bamboo system. I have extra left over from the package that this one came in, and I want to do one of my other drawers as well as using this system, which is the same thing, for another drawer. So we're going to do a little bit of drawer organization. This is so sturdy, it holds up well, it looks seamless, it feels like a very custom drawer build for a very inexpensive price on Amazon. And this drawer just holds our regular silverware and then all of our reusable straws. I've got bamboo in here, we've got glass. I love straws, and one of my favorites, I think I've shown you all before on a video, are these heart-shaped kind of copper looking straws. So we love straws in our house, and having them at our fingertips is really important. All right, so I played around with the leftovers of the kit that I used to do the silverware drawer. So these pieces were all in that kit, so I was able to do the silverware drawer and this drawer with one kit. And then this is the second kit that I just opened up, and it comes with 4 long dividers. This little thing pops out, and this opens up to kind of make it stable and give it some pressure against the back of the drawer. And it also makes it possible to use these dividers in different size drawers. And it also comes with these little pieces to make sections on the dividers. It's a little easier to show you than to explain it, so I'm going to flip over to the other drawer that I'm about to do. This is absolutely amazing. I think this is one of my favorite organizing projects I've ever done, or organizing tools I've ever used, because it doesn't matter how hard the drawer gets slammed or things getting shook around, everything stays in its place. And as your kitchen changes, you can also change up you know, what kind of dividers you want, where you want them, and it gives you the custom cabinet look without the price tag. I mean, these things are very affordable, especially comparing them to custom inserts for your drawers and things. And I know that this is kind of a little funny space, but I think I have something I can put in here. I might put in bamboo skewers for making like different shrimp kebabs and things like that. I don't know. It's a kind of a handy little space, I think, for some small things. I have an empty right now, but I do have some dishes I need to do, so this might get filled with something I'm not thinking of right now. On this side, I've got all of the baking kind of things and whatnot. Again, this is a little bit of a dead space here because these guys could be shoved somewhere else, but I just threw them in there because I had the spot. Either way, I feel like it's making the maximum use of these drawers, and I want to use these in even possibly my junk drawer as well, just because it takes advantage of the height or depth, or however you want to say it, of the drawer, and you aren't taking the space of laying something in that has a bottom that would kind of take up some of that precious space that you could use for something else. Thank you guys so much for watching today. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'd love it if you would join my channel. I post a lot of homemaking and home organization type content. Don't forget to leave a comment and let me know what project you're working on right now. That comment always helps my videos out. And give this video a like, and I will see you all in next week's video.